In today's video, we're going to talk about renting and leasing a home or condo here in the Fort Lauderdale and surrounding areas. Things are done a little differently here. Keep watching and let's make sure you cover all the bases. Welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, I want to give you a better understanding of what's involved when you go to lease or rent a place to live here in the Fort Lauderdale area. Keep in mind, there are also some really nice towns nearby Fort Lauderdale, like Lauderdale by the Sea, Pompano Beach, Hillsborough Beach, Deerfield Beach, Boca Raton, and Delray Beach. First and foremost is finding a rental you like. The easiest and most productive way is to let me set up a private portal for you. Once I know the important features you're looking for in your new place and your budget, you'll start getting emails from me with properties that match those characteristics. Once you find something you like, reach out to me and we'll either go take a closer look or set up a virtual tour. It's also important to give yourself plenty of time when searching for your rental. Most condos and townhomes are part of a community association here in Fort Lauderdale. That means you will need to complete an association application, sometimes sit for a personal interview, and pay an application fee, which is $100 per adult person or $100 for a married couple, which will be used to review your application, pull your credit report, and do a background check. This process can take up to 30 days, so plan ahead. Now for single-family residents, you usually don't have the same requirements as condos and townhomes, but there are still some that are part of homeowners associations. HOAs are not held to the $100 screening limit like condo associations, but the screening fee must be considered reasonable. If your rental is not part of any association, the owner can charge whatever they want for the screening, credit check, and background check. So be sure to verify that amount before proceeding. Oh yeah, you also want to review the association's rules and regulations. Okay, now that we've found your new place to live, it's time to start the paperwork. You're familiar with a lease agreement, right? What about the contract to lease? Yeah, thought that might get your attention. A contract to lease is a legal binding agreement you'll be presented with prior to signing your lease. It's a pre-agreement to your lease that I will be filling out on your behalf and requiring your signature. Did you catch the part about being a legally binding agreement? Good. The contract to lease basically spells out the property location and both the landlord and tenant's responsibilities, including when deposits are required and balances are due before move-in. It's important that you review the contract to lease carefully. I've seen instances where tenants sign the contract to lease, handed over their initial deposit, which is usually 1 month's rent, and then change their minds. Guess what? That's right. They either did not get their deposit back or had a very difficult time getting it returned. Why? Because the contract to lease is your commitment to follow through and lease the designated property. So be careful before you sign. It might be to your best interest to have an attorney review, even though that is an added expense. Once you've signed the contract to lease, the landlord will prepare the actual lease for you to review and sign. The terms, dates, deposits, etc. will be the same as the contract to lease. Be sure to review the lease carefully before signing. As a side note, most residential leases in Florida are for a 1-year term. If you like where you live, I would recommend talking with your landlord about renewing at least 60 days prior to the end of your current lease. If you're ready to start finding your new place to live, either click the button or link and let's get your private portal set up. Remember, there is no cost to you for my services if the property you select is listed on the local multi-listing service.